Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, are my words hurting me? What you whisper to yourself every day isn't just fleeting thoughts. They form the foundation of how you see yourself and how the world responds to you. If your inner dialogue is filled with doubt, criticism, or self-demeaning remarks, it's no surprise that you feel stuck, lacking confidence, and far from achieving what you truly desire. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the way we speak to ourselves is the first step in attracting good things into our lives. Changing how you talk to yourself isn't magic. It's a choice. A choice to stop harming yourself and to start rebuilding from within. Stay with this video, and I'll show you how to transform your words into your most powerful tool for healing, inspiring, and attracting everything you desire. If you're ready to take control of your life instead of merely reacting to it, hit subscribe and join us in spreading this wisdom. The power has always been there, in the words you speak to yourself. It's time to use it. It may sound magical, but the power of your thoughts is no illusion. It's a truth grounded in neuroscience and modern psychology. Every thought you have, whether as simple as choosing what to eat for breakfast or as profound as evaluating your own abilities, creates neural pathways in your brain. These pathways act like trails, guiding how you perceive and respond to the world. When you repeatedly think negative thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," you're essentially paving a road towards self-doubt. But the incredible truth is, you have the power to build new, stronger, and more positive paths. I remember a life-changing moment when I faced the greatest failure of my career. A project I had poured months of effort into was abruptly cancelled. It felt like the world had collapsed, and the negative voices in my head grew deafening. I'm worthless. I'm incapable. These self-critical thoughts consumed me, dragging me into a pit of despair and helplessness. But then, in the depths of my frustration, I recalled a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "It is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them." That simple reminder struck a chord. I decided to try something different. Instead of letting those negative thoughts dominate my mind, I began asking myself, is this failure or an opportunity to start anew in a better way? I told myself, this is a lesson, not an ending. At first, those affirmations felt forced, even insincere. But I persisted, repeating them day after day. Gradually, the overwhelming despair faded. Not only did I start feeling better, but I also began to see solutions where I once only saw obstacles. Every positive thought became a step forward, forging new neural pathways in my brain. Science calls this neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to rewire itself based on our thoughts and experiences. This means we are not prisoners of negative patterns. We can consciously build new, empowering ones that lead to confidence and resilience. When you focus on opportunities instead of failures, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, neurotransmitters that help you feel calm and optimistic, equipping you to face challenges more effectively. Looking back, I realized that failure wasn't the end. It was the beginning of a transformative journey. In my most painful moments, I learned how to take control of my thoughts. If you ever feel trapped in negativity, remember that you're not bound by it forever. Each positive thought, no matter how small, is a step toward confidence and inner peace. Let Stoic philosophy guide you, helping you not only understand yourself, but also take control of your life and create a future you truly deserve. You don't need to change everything in a day, but every thought you choose today can be the first step toward making everything better. The practice of positive self-talk. Have you ever realized that the quiet conversations you have with yourself could determine whether your life soars or sinks? Stoicism teaches us that the words we say to ourselves not only deeply influence our emotions, but also shape every decision we make. What's remarkable is that this philosophy doesn't just promote surface-level positive thinking, it encourages a realistic, constructive approach to engaging with your own mind. So, what does positive self-talk really look like? It all begins with awareness, becoming conscious of what you tell yourself daily. Ask yourself, are you your own harshest critic? If the answer is yes, it's time to rewrite that narrative. For example, instead of saying, "I always mess things up," take a Stoic-inspired approach. "I made a mistake, but I can learn from it." This isn't about sugarcoating the truth, it's about viewing your actions through a lens of growth and opportunity. I remember being caught in a spiral of self-criticism after a significant mistake at work. Every word I told myself felt like a knife cutting into my self-esteem. I'm not good enough. I can't ever get it right. But one day, I came across a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "You are affected not by events, but by your interpretation of them." That struck a chord. I decided to challenge those negative thoughts. Instead of tearing myself down, I started saying, "This mistake is a lesson, not the end." At first, those words felt forced, but over time, as I repeated them, they began to reshape how I saw myself and the world around me. The incredible thing was, I didn't just feel better. I started approaching challenges with newfound calm and focus. Neuroscience shows that every time you choose positive self-talk, you're building belief in your own abilities, what's called self-efficacy. This is the foundation for achieving your goals and overcoming adversity. Practicing positive self-talk is like exercising your brain. The more you practice, the stronger you become. And just as Stoics practice journaling to nurture their virtues, you too can make positive self-talk a natural part of your daily thinking. It's important to remember that positive self-talk isn't about denying reality. Stoicism emphasizes accepting what you cannot change while encouraging action on what you can. By speaking to yourself kindly and encouragingly, you shift your focus to what's within your control, your reactions and mindset. Doing so doesn't just build resilience, it lays the groundwork for an unshakable internal foundation. Every positive word you tell yourself isn't just a temporary comfort. It's a vital step toward shaping a life filled with meaning and balance. Emotional alignment and visualization. Have you ever felt like your emotions are a storm, derailing your efforts to stay aligned with your goals and values? The Stoics taught that true happiness doesn't lie in external circumstances, but in harmonizing emotions with reason. This principle isn't just philosophical, it's deeply practical, especially when applied to emotional regulation and using visualization to shape your life. Imagine facing a challenging situation. Your boss criticizes you openly in front of everyone. Your initial reaction might be anger, embarrassment, or even self-doubt. But instead of letting those emotions take over, you apply a simple yet powerful Stoic technique: pre-visualization. You picture yourself in that moment, standing firm, responding with calm and wisdom. You don't just visualize the actions, but also focus on feeling the confidence and composure you want to project. This isn't wishful thinking, it's a powerful mental exercise. Your brain, unable to distinguish fully between real and vividly imagined scenarios, activates neural pathways as if you were truly experiencing the moment. I remember using this approach while preparing for an important presentation. Anxiety nearly paralyzed me, making me want to give up entirely. But every morning, I spent a few minutes closing my eyes, imagining myself standing on that stage, speaking fluently, and making confident eye contact with the audience. I didn't just imagine the actions, I also focused on the excitement and pride I would feel after succeeding. When the day came, I realized that every feeling and image I had practiced became reality. I didn't tremble, I confidently walked onto that stage. The Stoics taught that it's not enough to prepare the mind rationally. You must also align your emotions to face any situation. Visualization isn't just about seeing the outcome. It's about practicing emotionally intelligent responses to challenges. When you visualize yourself accepting harsh feedback with grace instead of anger, you're training your mind to adhere to the values of wisdom and temperance. The emotions you build through visualization become not just fuel, but a driving force that turns your vision into reality. Make these exercises a part of your daily routine, much like the Stoics' practice of morning and evening reflections. They'll help you start your day with focus and end it with peace. Visualization and emotional alignment aren't just techniques. They're the pathway to a life of strength and purpose. Acknowledge reality. Have you ever felt stuck in a cycle of unrealistic expectations or overwhelming pessimism? Stoicism, a timeless philosophy, teaches us to see the world as it truly is, not through rose-colored glasses or drowning in bleakness. Instead, it guides us to maintain a clear perspective, to face reality honestly, and to use it as a foundation for the most effective responses. I recall a simple yet profound moment when my car had a flat tire on my way to work. It was a busy morning, and I just wanted to get to my destination on time. My first reaction was frustration and anger. Why today? Why does everything always go wrong for me? But rather than letting those negative thoughts consume me, I remembered the principles of Stoicism and asked myself, what can I control in this situation? I calmly pulled over, called for assistance, and reframed the situation as an opportunity to practice patience. Once resolved, I realized that I hadn't just avoided unnecessary stress, but also started my day with a valuable lesson. Minor inconveniences aren't worth ruining an entire day. Acknowledging reality through a Stoic lens doesn't stop at confronting the present, but also prepares us for the future. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. For example, you know it's going to rain on a day you've planned an outing. Instead of hoping the rain won't fall, you bring an umbrella and wear waterproof shoes. This doesn't just equip you to handle the situation better, but also minimizes disappointment when things don't go as planned. It's not pessimism, it's readiness to embrace life as it unfolds. Seeing reality clearly doesn't just help you tackle the present. It empowers you to navigate life's storms. It frees you from being blindsided by unforeseen difficulties because you've mentally and emotionally prepared. This approach doesn't make you a passive sufferer. It makes you an active participant, shaping and steering your own life. As Stoicism emphasizes, every challenge carries within it an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to strengthen. The question is, will you choose to see it or let it slip away? Consistency and habit formation. Consistency is the bridge between your deepest values and your daily actions, transforming lofty ideals into a vibrant reality. Stoicism doesn't stop at reflecting on virtues. It demands that we practice them every day, one small step at a time. It's not about sudden breakthroughs, but steady, persistent effort that fosters profound inner transformation. I once set a goal to improve my physical health after realizing that unhealthy habits were draining my energy. Initially, I believed that a high-intensity workout regimen or a strict diet would suffice. But after a month of failing, I realized I was missing the most crucial element: consistency. When I started making small, manageable changes, like walking for 10 minutes each morning and replacing one unhealthy meal a day, results began to appear. It wasn't just my body that improved. My willpower was strengthened through each small, repeated action. This perseverance became the foundation upon which I continued to build. Stoicism likens practicing virtue to an athlete training for peak performance. You can't expect extraordinary results from sporadic efforts or lack of discipline. They call this ascesis, the daily training of the spirit and moral character, not to force yourself, but to align who you are with the values you hold dear. Just as water carves through stone, consistency ingrains positive neural pathways in your brain, making each virtuous action feel more natural over time. But consistency isn't limited to action. It extends to creating an environment that supports your habits. You can't cultivate good practices if you're surrounded by distractions or negativity. Just as clearing junk food from your home helps maintain a healthy diet, clearing mental clutter, distancing yourself from influences that drag you down, and focusing on what uplifts you is equally essential. The real test comes when enthusiasm wanes or life gets in the way. This is where the true essence of a Stoic shines, not in avoiding obstacles, but in facing them with patience and resilience. Every day that you choose to act in alignment with your beliefs, you're not just improving your habits, you're shaping who you are. This journey isn't about seeking perfection. It's about becoming a better version of yourself, one small, consistent step at a time. Resilience through positive speech. The power of words goes beyond fleeting sounds or written symbols. It is the glue that binds thoughts and actions, a source of energy that can shape how we confront challenges. Stoicism teaches us that our words not only reflect reality, but also have the potential to guide our minds through the greatest obstacles. By changing our language, we can not only control how we feel, but also reshape how we act, building resilience to face life with greater strength. I recall a challenging moment in my career when a major project of mine was harshly criticized by my boss. My mind immediately flooded with negative thoughts. I'm not good enough. I can never get things right. But then I remembered a key Stoic principle and decided to change how I spoke to myself. Instead of letting those words spiral me into despair, I told myself, "This is a challenge, but I've overcome difficulties before, and this time will be no different." Surprisingly, that simple affirmation made a huge difference. My mind calmed, and I was able to focus on solving the problem rather than fixating on the criticism. Psychologists call this process cognitive restructuring. When you consistently speak about your abilities using positive language, you not only create a sense of hope, but also reinforce your belief in yourself. Your brain starts to remember and replicate this thought pattern, making it a natural reflex in difficult situations. Stoicism doesn't just encourage enduring adversity, it inspires us to turn challenges into opportunities to cultivate virtues and grow as individuals. Practicing positive self-talk doesn't just benefit you personally, it also has a powerful impact on your community. When you encourage others with your words, you create a positive ripple effect, fostering an environment of support and mutual upliftment. This is especially critical during tough times when not only you, but those around you may need a spark to keep going. Positive self-talk isn't about denying reality, it's about how you choose to face it. Reflect on the small victories of your past, remind yourself of the challenges you've overcome, and trust that you can do it again. By practicing this every day, you not only tackle immediate challenges, but also transform the way you view life altogether. What once felt overwhelming will now become an opportunity for you to shine and affirm the inner strength you possess. Gratitude and acceptance. Gratitude is the golden key that unlocks the door to inner peace, especially when life challenges us with its relentless upheavals. Stoic philosophy doesn't merely advise us to be grateful during moments of joy, it encourages us to find value even in adversity. This might sound paradoxical at first, but think back to the toughest times in your life, moments that seemed insurmountable yet revealed your inner strength and resilience. I recall losing my job unexpectedly after more than 20 years in the same industry. Initially, it felt like my world had crumbled, leaving me drowning in anger and frustration. But as I took time to reflect, I began to see it as an opportunity, a chance to rediscover myself and explore paths I'd never dared to consider. Shifting my perspective and embracing gratitude for this new beginning not only set me on a transformative journey, but also strengthened my patience and resilience for future challenges. Gratitude isn't a state of being you achieve overnight. It's a journey. Start by appreciating even the smallest things around you. The breath in your lungs, the morning sunlight, or the challenges that push you to grow stronger. This doesn't mean abandoning your goals or ceasing to strive for improvement. Instead, it's about welcoming life with calmness, knowing that every step along the way carries valuable lessons. Stoic philosophy also teaches us the harmony between gratitude and acceptance. When faced with things beyond your control, rather than struggling futilely, practice acceptance. This isn't about resignation, but about freeing yourself from unnecessary worries and channeling your energy into what you can influence. For instance, if you're facing financial difficulties, focus on what you still have: support from loved ones, your ability to work hard, and use these as stepping stones to move forward. A practical way to begin is to spend a few minutes each morning writing down 3 things you're grateful for, including the challenges helping you grow. When frustration arises, ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, practice letting go and redirect your energy toward things you can change. To deepen your appreciation for life, try visualizing the loss of things you often take for granted, such as your health or loved ones. While this exercise might seem difficult, it is a powerful way to cultivate a profound sense of gratitude. By consistently practicing gratitude and acceptance, you'll not only build a stronger mind, but also create a life full of meaning and tranquility. Let the lessons of Stoic philosophy guide you, so that you not only survive life's storms, but navigate them with confidence and genuine gratitude. Empowering questions and future self-talk. The questions you ask yourself each day aren't just fleeting thoughts. They are mirrors reflecting how you confront life and powerful tools shaping your destiny. Stoic philosophy, with its deep focus on self-mastery and cultivating virtue, teaches that the way we frame our questions and engage in self-dialogue can transform even our greatest struggles into the driving force behind our growth. I vividly remember a time when my family faced a severe financial crisis. The sight of mounting bills, the anxious looks from my loved ones, and my own drowning thoughts of, why me? What did I do to deserve this? Weighed heavily on me. Every morning, I woke up feeling crushed by the weight of helplessness. Those questions, whether intentional or not, deepened the pain and made me feel like a complete failure. But one day, I realized that the way I was framing my questions was keeping me trapped in a cycle of despair. Slowly, I began to change. Instead of asking, why is everything so bad? I started asking, what can I do to change this, even just a little? That question, though it didn't immediately provide a clear answer, opened up a new perspective. I asked myself, where can I start? What have I overlooked? These questions nudged me toward finding solutions, one small step at a time, rather than sinking further into fear. I began to notice small actions I could take, cutting unnecessary expenses, finding side work, and even sharing my situation with friends for support. Over time, not only did our financial situation begin to improve, but my mind also became lighter because I no longer saw myself as a powerless victim. Alongside this, I started practicing future self-talk. I told myself, I am patient and resourceful, someone who will come out of this stronger. At first, those words felt foreign, even fake, as I faced a chaotic reality. But over time, I realized that each time I repeated those words, I was building an image of who I aspired to be. I wasn't just thinking about it. I began to act as that future version of myself would, calmer, more patient, and more determined. This shift in self-dialogue became a critical factor in helping me navigate through my darkest days. This approach didn't just help me strengthen myself, it improved my relationships as well. As I began asking myself empowering questions, I found ways to encourage and uplift those around me. The change in how I spoke to myself had a ripple effect, helping my family find hope and strength. Take time to identify the challenges you're facing. Craft empowering questions that can reshape obstacles into opportunities. Engage in self-talk with your future self, the person who has overcome these difficulties with courage and wisdom. Spend a few moments each morning or in quiet reflection to visualize and repeat positive affirmations. Not just to survive the present, but to create a future you can be proud of. This practice won't just transform your mindset, it will turn you into the strongest version of yourself. Thank you for taking the time today to explore the profound depths of Stoic philosophy with me, and for being an indispensable part of this inspiring community. The journey toward a virtuous and fulfilling life is not a destination, but a lifelong path. Every step you take, every thought you cultivate, every word you whisper to yourself is a building block, shaping the person you aspire to become. Never stop asking powerful questions, never stop engaging in dialogue with your future self, and most importantly, never stop growing. If today's discussion has inspired you and you're eager to delve even deeper into the Stoic way of life, I invite you to explore the recommended videos now appearing on your screen. Let us continue to motivate one another, nurture our inner wisdom, and build our resilience together. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and live fully with the Stoic spirit.